Now, I wanted to do this example with you. So they're asking you to find the vertical asymptotes and write their equations in here. And they give you the equation of the rational function with the denominator factored out for you. So remember, vertical asymptotes occur when the bottom of the rational function equals 0. So basically, all we got to do is figure out what does x have to be for this bottom to be 0. Now keep in mind, if this factor equals 0, the whole bottom is going to equal 0 because we're multiplying these things together, and anything times 0 is going to be 0. Same thing with this factor. If I can find what will make that equal 0, then that's my other asymptote. So I basically just need to find an x that makes 2x plus 5 equals 0 and an x that makes 2x minus 5 equals 0. So a pretty straightforward way of figuring this out is to just write an equation. 2x plus 5 equals 0, and we're just trying to solve that for x. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 5 from both sides, and that cancels, and I get 2x equals negative 5. And then if I divide both sides by 2, that will end up getting x by itself, and I will have the x equals negative 5 divided by 2. Now I could write that as a decimal, that's negative 2.5. Now you can kind of check that by putting that back in for x. If you have 2 times negative 2.5 plus 5, so 2 times negative 2.5 is going to equal negative 5, and negative 5 plus 5 is 0. And so this will equal 0, and then it doesn't matter what that equals, it's going to be multiplied by 0, so you'll end up with something divided by 0 here, and that is going to be undefined, so you're going to have a vertical asymptote there. So I know that I have one vertical asymptote at negative 2.5, and then now that we've seen that, we can probably figure out this one's going to be positive 2.5, because 2.5 times 2 would be positive 5, and 5 minus 5 is going to be 0. So if you can see what the answer is without doing the algebra that we did down here, you're welcome to do that. But if you're not seeing it, you can always go ahead and do that algebra, and that'll always get you what you need. So 2x minus 5 equals 0. Go ahead and solve that for x, and you'll end up getting x equals 2.5. Okay, and you would do that by just adding 5 to both sides and then dividing both sides by 2. So let's submit that answer, and it says it's correct. My writing's in the way there, but we can also check it by clicking on our graph here, and what it'll do is it'll show me the function and the asymptotes I drew. And if I get this wrong and I put the asymptotes in the wrong spot, like maybe I put in 5, when you go to click on check, it'll draw the asymptote in a spot that's like way off. Okay, so you need to check your work, make sure you're getting it right. When you hit submit, it'll tell you if you're right. Try and do it without hitting the check button at first, though. See if you can get practice at doing it on your own, but use that check button to see if you did get it right and everything matches up.